Welcome back. We have our guest with us today. So we can always just start with the basics. Who are you?
Me, Jill Thompson.
What do?
Me draw comics.
And why?
It's the only thing I've ever wanted to do. I've ever wanted to do since I'm little has been to draw comics. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. I did want to be an astronaut, veterinarian, princess, ballerina, actress, artist. And one by one, a lot of those things fell away. I still like all of those things, but art was the thing that I decided to focus on.
Given that you're also a comic book artist, I imagine you could just make a character that's all of those things.
Well, I get to follow all of my interests in those things and incorporate them into stories that I write.
All right. So, do you have any future projects coming up or any new artwork that people can see?
Well, I always have things that are on my Instagram. So I post a lot of paintings. My Instagram is @theJillThompson. And I also have a Facebook page. I have Twitter, which is also @theJillThompson, but I'm usually not on Twitter. I exist there.
Some links to all that in like the doobly-doo.
Yeah. So I am working on Norse Gods that P. Craig Russell is adapting for Dark Horse Comics. And I'm going to be doing one of the chapters. So I'm drawing and painting that. I'm working on commissions that I've been taking since we started our stay-at-home lifestyle for the foreseeable future to make sure everyone stays safe and healthy as possible. And the most exciting thing that I'm doing is I'm working on a new Scary Godmother book called The Scary Godmother's House. And I will be launching within a couple of days, I just have to type everything out, a Patreon, so people can watch the actual process of it being made. I figured a lot of people like to watch me paint, and they like to see updates of art, and this might be a really good way to help the book actually happen. So I'm going to do 2 levels of patronage, where one is just a lot of like the blog style, where you get to see, still images of stuff that's being worked on or finished. And then there'll be another one that's a lot more interactive. So I will do live streaming, and I also will do probably some cooking. There'll be a lot of things that happen in the Scary Godmother's house. So anything that people have really responded to on Instagram, and they've asked me, why don't you do a live cooking show? I was like, oh my gosh, because I never thought about how to do it, but seeing how everyone's streaming right now, when I'm in the kitchen in the middle of the night and making something, I will do things in the night kitchen. I will also make drinks and silly cat tricks and Q&A, a lot of back and forth, so people can ask me direct questions. And then I will also do painting videos where I will answer the questions that people have asked me.
Okay, backing up to, what do you mean by cat drinks?
Oh, cat tricks. Because
Oh,
I have 2 cats, and like one cat, Oberon, gets into everything that I do. So he becomes part of every single thing that I'm doing. I would not be surprised if he jumps up and walks across here, putting his tail in my face as we talk, because he has to be the center of attention all the time.
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping my door closed right now to keep my cats out.
Yeah. It's actually a nice day today, and I have some of the windows open here. I'm in Chicago, and I just went out to my little patio and took the cats out for 5 minutes just to get some sunshine, and now they're running around like crazy because they're solar charged, I think.
All right. So moving on, is there any chance, like even the most remote chance, that we might see another Magic Trixie book? Because my mom and I love that series, and we just want more.
Yes, I do have one. There's a 4th one, and I'm trying to remember what. Not that's finished, but that's written out. Did I call it Magic Trixie and the Ghost? It might be Magic Trixie and the Ghost. And then there's also things to do on an oatmeal day. So technically there's probably 2 Magic Trixie books in
We're
me.
getting 2 of them.
I just have to get them out. So yeah.
All right. Yeah, and as usual, we end up with like another silly question. So, would you rather be able to reverse one decision you make every day, or be able to stop time for 10 seconds once a day?
Just 10 seconds? I guess I would reverse a decision.
All right. What kinds of things would you do with this power?
Well, I'm trying to figure it out. I guess when I would probably, right now, I would probably reverse the decision to look at my phone too many times instead of, you know, it's kind of makes me procrastinate a little bit. So I would put my phone down when I'm supposed to be working.
Yeah, you look at your phone for like 5 seconds, like, I'm just gonna check up on what I missed, and how has it been an hour?
That's right. This is why I can't play video games. Especially like I love D&D and role-playing games and stuff like that, but I've never gone, I started way back to go online and play, you know, online fantasy games, thinking, oh, I'll just play for a little bit, and then the whole day is gone, and I realized that that would be very bad for me to keep up with. So thankfully, I switched computers way back because I was on a PC when I was playing online games, and then I switched to a Mac, and none of the games actually worked on a Mac at that point, which was great because I might not even be talking to you right now. I'd still be playing a game.
You mentioned that you play D&D, so I must ask, tell me about your character.
Well, right now I'm playing a character in a Friends campaign called Troubled Skies. So it's a mashup of D&D, but he's created his own world. It's got a little bit of steampunky stuff in it, and it takes place around 14th century European stuff. So he's mixed a lot of, he's created his own nations and things like that, but some of it's grounded in things we know. And then there are flying airships around. So I'm a fighter in this particular campaign who probably should be a magic user because I want to do a bunch of things I can't do. It's driving me crazy.
There is always the Eldritch Knight option for your archetype, so that could be an option.
This is true. I didn't make up the type of character that I am, so I have to abide by the constraints of my my DM.
All right.
So, and we're playing tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it. We're all playing on this type of platform, so it's been pretty interesting.
Yeah. I usually have a Thursday night D&D game myself, and my dad usually fills the DMing, but with a lot of this going on, we haven't really been able to keep up on it.
And what's your character?
My character is Angus MacGuffin. He is a halfling rogue with a drinking problem. Like,
love it.
And most of the time, like for the earlier character, it was just okay, murder, death, kill. And then nowadays it's a bit more chill, but really, it's just fun to play as him. It's very cathartic.
Do you do voices?
Oh yeah. Every time I do the character, I go into a Scottish accent. It's not great, but it does well enough.
That's the only way to play D&D. I used to love DMing when I would, because I would like to do a lot more theatrical things. So I would bring props out. I would have a little treasure chest when people had to pick a lock. I would make scrolls. I also have, in fact, it's over on my buffet table, my sideboard right now. I had a little thing of test tubes, and I would fill each one up with some type of liquid, all of it potable, but you know, you never knew. Sometimes it was black coffee, sometimes Mountain Dew, flat Coke, Red Pop, something like that. Water, vinegar, you never knew. Because you'd always play with that one guy, that he was the first guy who'd come up to the party and he'd be like, I just opened the door. And you're like, didn't you even, you have to check for traps, my God. He would always just jump into things. If we opened up a chest, he would be like, oh, there's a potion, I'm gonna drink it. And you're like, really? Would you do that in your real life? So I decided that when I was DMing, I was gonna I would put things out for him. And it was like, okay, you see these 3 vials. What do you do? And he was like, oh, well, I'm gonna drink it. I was like, okay, well then choose that one and drink it. You're like, what? So sometimes it's a thing, but other times, you know, it's like bitter or sour or something like that. So you would have a reaction. And I wanted him to be a lot less impulsive with the rest of the party because he was going to get us all killed at one point.
That's so great when it's in your real life.
I do like to play things like that. So
my D&D game doesn't incorporate too many like props or something. Like occasionally I'll bust out some Nerf weapons for everybody to role play with, but
that's good.
Most of the time we use, instead of miniatures, because they're expensive, we use Lego minifigures. Like we go by like some of the local Lego shops and we make our own little minifigures for our characters.
Oh my gosh, a whole Lego world would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, the only problem is they kind of stopped doing the like Lego Knight sets, so that kind of sucks. But luckily, my campaign is kind of in space right now, so we've gotten to that point.
I mean, in space, like outer space.
Space. It's like I think it was in the Pathfinder equivalent of space, where it's like sailing on nebulous seas, or I don't know. Basically, we've gotten to the point where we've leveled up so much that our murder hobo party had to be transported into another planet in order to actually get some challenge.
Murder Hobo Party is a great t-shirt.
I think it'd also be a pretty good band name.
Yes, it would be. I would go to see Murder Hobo Party.
Yeah. So there's always that problem in your D&D campaign where, like, okay, we've leveled up so much to where either wherever you throw at us, we're either going to insta-kill it or it's going to insta-kill us. Or in my party's case, we often just BS our way into winning the encounter. Like a lot of our characters have a lot of charisma, so that's where that gets to.
Yep, my character does have good charisma, so I'm lucky there.
Yeah, that's really where the fun parts come into D&D.
Yeah, I like that part the best.
Plus, then also you get to fulfill everybody's expectations of Bard. So.
Ooh, we don't have a Bard, but I'm sure at some point we'll all start singing.
All right, well, I think that's most of the time that we have for today. Thank you very much for coming on the show again, Ms. Thompson.
You're welcome. It's so nice to be here.
All
Stay
right.
safe. See you next time.
You as well.
What is